Hey everybody, it's Chef Rob. I hope you're all doing good out there. I'm going to be making Asiago cheese bread today, something a little different. You can enjoy it with some summer salads, some summer soups, chilled soups, dinners with barbecues. So let me start and get you to know how to make this. It's very simple, very easy. First thing you want to do is 2 cups of the all-purpose flour. And always have a little spatula here just so you can level it off nicely. Put it in this bowl here. Asiago is a lot of people like it on their bagels now. It's gotten very, very popular over the years. I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of the baking powder. Just make sure it's nice and smooth, nice and level, just like that. Now I'm going to use some kosher salt. I'm using 3/4 of a teaspoon. So I've got 1/4 right here, and then my half. I've done this for many classes, and people always come back and say, I love that recipe. So I hope you will make this very, very simple. 1 teaspoon of the granulated sugar. Make sure you put that sugar in there, okay? For the moisture and the texture of the bread. At this point, what I want you to do, just mix these ingredients around really good. If you have a little wire whisk, you can mix them around like that. Okay, perfect. Now what I am going to do is, got the grater. I have a very cold stick of unsalted butter. You need 1 stick of butter. And when you are at home, it is easier to do this as far as grating it. When we do it in classes, not everybody can bring a grater to class. So I am just going to grate all this butter right into this bowl here with the dry ingredients. Again, it kind of looks like a shaved Parmesan cheese going in there, but it will make it nice and easy to crumble. This recipe, you really don't need to bring out any mixers, anything. Do this all by hands, okay? I just want to make sure I get the butter off on the inside because I don't want to miss any of it. Okay, got it all. See how that is, just like that? At this point, what I want to do is take my hands with my gloves, just give it a good toss. I want to kind of feel no butter in here, no kind of clumps. If you do it without a grater and you just kind of dice it up, it'll take you a little bit longer. It'll take you about 4 or 5 minutes. This is kind of quick like this. This you're going to bake in a 375 oven, and it will take about 30 minutes. The one really good thing about this recipe is you can always cut these into little biscuits and make little Asiago cheese biscuits. Okay, so it'll work out great like that. You can add fresh scallions to this recipe and it will come out really nicely. Okay, so this is nice and crumbled, just like this. You can see there's really no butter clumps, okay? Pretty much flour, maybe just a dot of it, but that's fine. I want to take 3/4 of a cup of half and half. You really do need the half and half for this recipe. Fat-free half and half will not work in it. Okay? It's a whole different science. Okay. Make sure everything at the baking is exact. Just going to pour this in. Now you don't want to go in with your gloves because what will happen is you'll get all this all over your gloves and you will miss a lot of bread. So just going to take my spoon, wooden spoon. I just want to mix it until it is combined. Okay, just about done. And then what I want to do, I want to dust my cutting board with a little bit of flour. It's a dry texture. The bread itself will actually come out almost like a biscuit type of texture. Okay, just so you know exactly what to expect. Okay, everything off of the spoon. Let's go in the bucket just like this. Take your cutting board, or your table, whatever you may be doing it on. Dust the table just like that. I just want to make sure all those little crumbs at the bottom get mixed in here. I don't want to over mix my dough, otherwise it will become a little tough, a little rubbery. Okay. We're going to put this out onto the floured board. Okay, I'm going to flip it over because I don't want anything to stick to my glove. So now I am just kind of rolling this around in the flour. Okay, if you can see, it's kind of a hard, could actually get a little crumbly, this dough. Just want to show you what it could be like. It's not wet, it's not sticky. I'm just going to knead this for about 10 seconds. You could shave a little bit of the fresh cheese that we're using, the Asiago cheese, and put just a little bit inside. You don't want to put too much inside because what will happen is the moisture will change the whole bread itself. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm starting to fold the dough underneath. Okay, it should actually end up looking like if you went to a pizza store and saw a pizza dough kind of hanging out. Okay. So now, looks like it's pretty small, and how could it possibly become a nice loaf of bread? Okay, but it will. What I want to do right now is I'm going to take my tray, my baking tray, and one of these silicone baking mats. The silicone baking mat, they're perfect for baking, either that or parchment paper, but I recommend if you do a lot of baking, buy one of these mats. So I'm just going to take this dough. As you can see, nothing sticky on me. I'm going to use this so I can keep it up nice and high. At this point, what I want to do is I want to take one egg. I will have extra egg left over, but they don't sell half eggs. So let me just take this, whisk this a little bit together, and I'm going to put in about a tablespoon worth of water. Again, I'm just going to whisk this up really good. I'm going to take my pastry brush. Just want to brush this really good. I don't want egg all dripping on the side, otherwise it kind of looks like you're going home with Asiago cheese bread and an omelet, and you don't want that. So just enough where the cheese will stick to it. Okay, that looks good. Now I have some freshly grated Asiago cheese. I'm going to take the Asiago cheese, a half cup of it, and I'm going to make like a big pile right on top of my bread. Okay. You will get some that will fall off, and it will be fine. Okay, you can always go back, just go around, just scoop it like this. Okay. Now you can kind of just pat it down just a little bit. You don't have to put it into the bread. Okay. What's going to happen now is this cheese is going to bake right into the top of the bread and make a really nice crust and nice tasting bread. If you want to do like a sharp provolone, same thing, grated just like this, it would work out really well. Okay, you can put little diced sun-dried tomatoes in it if you're doing the provolone or the Asiago. That would work fine. You just can't put anything wet really inside. It really changes the texture of it. So we're going to put this in the oven right now, 375, 30 minutes. One of the things you do want to do is put it towards the lowest rack. Maybe take the lowest rack and lift it up one notch in your oven. And then you're going to take a sheet of aluminum foil, and on the rack above, just put it just like this. That way the cheese doesn't burn, doesn't get too dark, but the air will still get around this bread really good. Okay, and it'll be nice and golden. And I will show you when this comes right out of the oven. Okay, this just came out of the oven, and it is really smelling really good, and it throws off a nice aroma throughout the house. I just want to pick it up so you can actually see how wide it actually gets, okay, into my hand. Totally takes away my hand. it is nice and high. I want to kind of put my finger on it so you can kind of see. It's got a little crustiness here, but it's very nice and soft throughout in the bread, okay? Plan on eating this right out of the oven within the hour, hour and a half. There's nothing like fresh bread. It's not a bread that has preservatives, so it's not going to last forever. If you're not going to use it the same day, freeze it and cut little pieces, cut it into little wedges, and you can put it in the oven or even microwave for like 10 seconds just to kind of freshen it up. Okay, I don't think it needs butter. Some people just think bread and butter goes all the time. So whatever you like. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you make this for your family.
Tainted love, tainted love.